Hey everybody, this is Family Time 246. We're talking about reflection. This is a great time of year to do a little reflecting on this school year, on the goals that we had for this year, if we've accomplished those goals or where we've maybe come up short and learned things, and where we want to go, where we want to go after this. For you seniors, you're ready for the next big step. But for everybody, it's a great time. It's part of the school year to sit and think about, like, okay, what do I need to do to finish this year strong? Where do I want to go from here? Even if things are going well, it's important to reflect. I'm reminded of this book, Legacy. Some of you have read it. We had our football players read it several years ago. But it's about the New Zealand All Blacks. It's a rugby team. It's their national rugby team. And the All Blacks have had one of the most successful, most dominant sports franchises in all history for decades and decades. And this book, Legacy, is about their culture, specifically about them reestablishing some things in their culture, because they'd already had one of the highest all-time winning percentages. They were historically had won 75% of their games, which if you look over the entire history of a sports franchise, to win 75% of your contests is unbelievable. But there were some key members of the organization that felt like some things were kind of falling off a little bit. Their culture was wavering. And they wanted to reestablish some things and be very specific about their culture. So they made some changes. They did some reflecting and they made some changes. And they went from that historical 75% winning percentage to winning 86% of their games, which is unbelievable. And it led them to another Rugby World Cup. And I think that's important. Like, it's so easy to become complacent in our lives and kind of just go with the flow. And we have to really reflect on things and take note when maybe certain aspects of our lives feel out of balance, or one thing is taking over other aspects of our lives. And we have to make change. That's something called the action feedback loop. With everything in life, we have to take action. We have to do something. And we get caught up there sometimes. Some people have that paralysis by analysis where we're not sure the next step to take. And the truth is, we never know the perfect decision. We never know the perfect action to take. We make mistakes all the time. So we kind of have to just get over that a little bit. And you have to take action. And then you go through the feedback loop. You have to analyze, okay, like, well, what was the outcome? What happened because of the action that I took? And then look at the results and then do that little internal analysis. Like, okay, what went well, what didn't go well, and what can I change? And then we take another action, and we just keep going through that loop. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about this school year specifically. And I want you to think about, like, what were some of your successes? What were some things? And that could be things like academically or with extracurriculars, but it could be anything. It could be with your life, could be something that you wanted to accomplish for yourself. What is something that you consider a success this year, by however you want to measure success? Then I want you to think about what was something that was a learning experience. When I say learning experience, like, don't think of it as a failure. Like, we all make mistakes and come up short, but you either win or you learn. And that's the great thing, is you get to do that action feedback loop and say, all right, well, now I learned, now I can do this better next time. And then where do you want to go from here? Think of, doesn't necessarily need to be a specific goal. We talked about like SMART goals and things like that earlier this year, but think about just broadly, like where do you want to go? Set your kind of North Star. In what areas do you want to keep learning and growing, moving from here? All right, until next time, much love.